So yeah, things are bad. But there are way more of us. Okay, we actually have the power. We can do things that are proactive and assertive, like setting up blockades to protect our neighborhood. And we can do things that are non confrontational, but still powerful, like withhold our labor. If every person who's listening to this who doesn't agree with ICE simply stopped rendering their labor, the nation would have to shut down. Right now what's happening is they're shutting down blue states. They're shutting down New York. They're shutting down Minneapolis, Minnesota. They're shutting down California. They're shutting down Oregon and Washington. They're surging all of these paramilitary forces into our neighborhoods to do fascist things, which is creating an air of fear that's depriving us of a proper economy. You can't have a properly functioning economy when your population is living in terror of secret police. So, things are bad right now. And we have to be honest with ourselves and with each other about the condition of our country, because it's so easy to fall back into the belief system that, we're the greatest country in the world. Freedom, America, liberty, justice. Yeah, America, fuck yeah. It's not that way anymore, guys. You can't be fuck yeah about America at this point. You can't. How can you? How can you be enthusiastic and supportive of a country that violates the rights of its citizens, murders them, murders its own citizens? Because that's what's happening, right? They're murdering their own citizens. I mean, we know about Alex Preddy and Renee Good, but how many more died behind closed doors that we'll never know their names? They can't even find people who are in their detention centers. They cannot find people who are in their detention centers. They do not even know where the people are who are inside of their detention. They can't find detainees in their system. It's tragic. Because, what happens is there's children in there. There's children. They're taking children and putting them into concentration camps. Children. So how are we supposed to be patriotic towards that? Who's patriotic towards a country that throws children into concentration camps? Who's patriotic towards that? We deserve so much better. We deserve so much better. And it's not going to get better anytime soon. It's going to keep getting worse. The checkpoints and all the terror that we see now, it's basically nothing compared to what's coming next. They're going to do the same thing to homeless people. They're going to round up homeless people and disappear them into detention camps. And they're going to go after their political opponents. They already took me once. Not for violating any crime. Not for breaking any laws. They just lied about my identity and used that lie as a pretense to take me into federal custody. This was 5 years ago. But the reality is they already targeted me once, okay? They already targeted me once. So I feel uncertain about my future. Actually, I feel pretty certain about it. I feel like they're coming for me. Honestly. I feel like if they could take me away, they would, but they don't know where I'm at. Or possibly They just haven't been able to cook up enough of a pretense yet. But people like me, the feds hate me. All of these Nazis hate people like me. I already get death threats. I already get death threats. You know, yeah, I can. My brother is in the comments there, and he's saying that he's worried about going through the checkpoints. I understand. You know, my dad isn't on my birth certificate, and I feel like that makes me even more susceptible, because they're trying to say that people who are born here don't have birthright citizenship. If you're born here, that's not enough. Can you believe that? They're trying to say that being born into the United States isn't enough to keep you safe. And it's not. It's really not. They've deported American citizens. American-born citizens have been deported out of this country into fascism. You know, it's just bizarre, right? Because what's going on is so unimaginable. It's just so devastating and horrific. It's hard to even put it into words. It's hard to try and rationalize or even conceptualize the type of terrors that are being done. But yeah, you know, we have to do something about it. We can't just allow the fascists to take over. You know, they're expecting, they really thought this was going to be easy. They thought they weren't going to have any resistance and that they would be able to just walk right into authority. You know, they're going to start running trains full of detainees. All of these new concentration camps they're opening up, these warehouse concentration camps, they're putting them next to train tracks. They're going to start running detention trains, okay? Right now they're using flights. They're doing small enough numbers that they can fly the people around. But before too long, because the nature of fascism, they're going to be ramping it up to the point where they need trains. They're going to have detention trains full of people who have never been charged, that aren't guilty, they've never had a trial of their peers, they don't have representation, they never had a phone call to a lawyer. All those people, the numbers are going to get so high that they won't be able to do it by plane anymore, and they're going to have to start running detainee trains. They're going to start using trains full of detainees. Like, I don't know how to talk about it, right? My ancestors, my great-grandparents, fled across Ukraine and Poland to escape World War I because they knew what was coming. This is on my mom's side. My grandfather was in the army. He was an army nurse. He patched up people who were fighting Nazis. You know, I laugh. It's not really funny. But the gas chambers, they're already built. Okay, we don't see them like that because it's not how we're taught to look at the world. But they have gas chambers. They're in plain sight. They're actually ovens, is what I'm talking about. Ovens. We don't think of them as ovens because they're training facilities. They're training facilities.